Hello, Sister Charity here, along with my co-host John Sales, and we are here for part two of our last episode. And we, first of all, welcome to our show. We're here sharing our perspectives about a variety of topics, and it just so happens that we're talking about the untimely death, horrific death of a beautiful young lady, 25 years old, Miss Shanquella Robinson. And so what we're doing is we want to talk about, we talked about our perspective as far as what possibly could have happened last week. So we do want to encourage you to look at part one. This segment, we're going to be looking at, should those individuals that were there be held accountable and as accessories to the murder, because they did not come forward and they left that young lady in Mexico without any help, just left her there. And the dad was talking about how he had to go on Google and find different funeral homes in Mexico to see where his daughter was. Look, if you haven't seen the interview with the dad, he was on FaceTime live with a young man who goes by the North Carolina Beat. Young man is pretty good, but if you didn't get a chance to see that, I encourage you to see that interview. But today we're going to talk about, should they be held accountable? Should they be held to the highest extent of the law like everybody else? And who leaked that video and why? So, John, I want to get right into your perspective. You indicated that you're more street savvy, and you feel like you kind of have a pulse on what really happened. And so I want to hear your perspective.
I don't even really need street savvy for this one. I noticed I like to have a little humor with my depression or depressing news. So, no, I watch porn. So I know porn when I see it. Now, That's the porn I wouldn't watch, but yet I know it's porn, and the person who's filming is actually a narrator. You know what I mean? So they're narrating what's going on because they're in on it. It's not them being done like that. So of course they have no empathy for what's being done because they looking at the bag, the money from it. You know, somebody over there in Mexico paid them handsomely. That's why they were able to go over there and say what they said, and it'd be followed up by the authorities over there that this, that, or whatever happened, allow them to leave. It's different when you're in another state with a passport. They can hold you there in their jails for breaking their laws, unless there's a lot of money involved. And who do they do it to? A person of color, a person without means, to go over there to the consulate and demand this and that. You know, if that was a blue-eyed, you know, it'd be more stuff jumping off than what's going on with this girl. You know how they care about our Black females. And they, as whoever the mystery people is, no, you know.
Okay, so you're saying that it was all staged, and they had, you saying that the Mexican officials paid them for, or they paid the Mexican officials? I just want to be clear.
Understand something. I'm suggesting, in my opinion, I don't have fact, but I bet $1 to a donut that there's somebody with a whole lot of money who wants to see that type of stuff, which is called a snuff film, and they go over to Mexico where they have clout, where a peso go a long way, pay the right people, and then they can put on their project. Because if somebody's screaming and hollering trying to get away, who, you know, the police gonna come. But if the police is in on it, they're gonna say, y'all keep the noise down, because else we're gonna have to, you know what I mean? So just put two and two together. It's not rocket science. I mean, for a guy like me.
Got it. Wow. And so you're saying that well, I'm not even gonna go there and say the young lady was in on it, but you saying
Person
every,
film,
huh?
the person, first of all, they're in sexual garment. Like, who gets naked and then all of a sudden somebody decides, well, I'm gonna fight you for what you did last week. Woo, 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 woo. And I'll add another element. Now, we both know that a lot of women say they friends or whatever, but they end up fighting their friend over a dude, over it could be
Right.
over anything. So how many women who hate the girl that they jealous of and they want to do something to her, but they can't get a hold of her, would watch something like that, would watch it almost with a sick mindset to get even in their head if they can't get even physically, and they watch that. I'm just trying to show you who that might appeal to. The person that can't really do it. And then they get to see it over and over in their head, and they can put any victim they want in that picture. That's what I'm trying to talk about.
And so you feel like the young lady that passed away, Shanquella, was a victim?
Was a victim of a snuff film.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, I just want our viewers and listeners to really understand what we're saying. We're saying Shanquella was a victim. And unfortunately, you feel it was for a porn snuff film. And we don't really know what it was about. But here, I want to get back to the point of this segment. And that is there's a problem. And it just didn't start with this case. Now, with the exception of those who take out their cell phones for police injustice and different things, and maybe they can't help but they're recording for the sake of turning it in to the police to be a witness, I don't have a problem with that. But to film somebody being hurt, and I know you're saying it's a snuff film, but let's just say it wasn't, okay? And then you're filming it, and you're not helping, and then it goes awry, and then somebody dies, and then you come back to the States, maybe after you paid off, I don't know, but you come back to the States, you try to get y'all story together, and then somehow, some way, somebody leaked that I'm glad, because the Bible said what's done in the dark gonna come to light. But somebody put it out there, and I'm wondering if the guilt and the conviction of what they did, they wanted the world to know, no, this is really what happened.
No, they wanted the world to see a snuff film. they put it out so the world could see a snuff film. It goes further and it brings out more crazies to watch the next snuff film.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Okay. I thought you were saying that they were gonna create this snuff film and sell it to people.
It's been sold. You don't know if CNN bought it. You don't know who bought it. Somebody bought it and put it out. It didn't get leaked out. R. Kelly stuff didn't get leaked out. Somebody paid for this and put it out so that it could bring attention to what's going on in Mexico. In Mexico, you can do stuff like this and it's not above board because money talk over there.
Wow.
The economy is different. Why you think they took them out of the States? And they did it to the least of us. They did it to somebody who doesn't have power, who is powerless to come in and get the people behind it. No, the person that was filming is definitely in on it. And just like you have these gangs running around and they film their crimes, the person filming, if they haven't turned it over to the police, they are in as much trouble as the person doing it. So this is a thing this is the new thing. If this is not the last time, this is the beginning. So, this world we living in is different times because back when they was doing it with the 8mm films, before the camera phone and all that, you had to have some real paper. Like you had to be like Jeffrey Epstein. You have an island where you send people to go and do the stuff they can't do in the States.
Wow.
You provide a service for people who have sexual habits that are not the norm, that are
Wow.
of Satan himself, just really deviant.
Wow. Wow. That blows my mind because
Because
I don't
you
I would have
married.
I would have never thought I would have never even had that as a perspective, but hey, that's a very interesting perspective. And so
What can I ask you something?
mhm.
When was the last time you watched porn?
I can't tell you.
I, it,
I watched
I've
I
never.
watched it in my 20s, like when I first got married, and then it was a wrap. I was like,
Mm-hmm. They gave
yeah.
you.
So maybe when I was 23, somewhere in there, my first year of marriage.
Because that's not the way you make babies. That's the way you lust. That's the way you fulfill an appetite for your lust things that you lust for. Insects, like the act itself is to reproduce kids. It's not to all that other stuff. It's just some extra sauce in it. And some people just took it to as far as they could take it. When you take it to murder, that is sick. That's sadistic.
Wow. And you know what? That kind of that seems like that falls in line with really all of the reason why all that simple violent stuff was happening, because they said it was another girl that body slammed her and all of that. Wow, we got to talk to our kids. We have to talk to those that we love and make sure that they understand it's more to all of the porn that meets the eye, and there's so much sexual immorality going on. So maybe our next show we can talk about some more, because you were schooling me. I had no idea. And not only are you schooling me,
You've been
huh?
married. You've been married this whole time. You are a wife, a mother, and you don't have time for this foolishness out here like me. I had plenty of time for this. Matter of fact, I've had, my share of weird encounters. But I mean, I was blessed and I had upbringing that was upright. Like certain things I just don't do. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? But
yeah,
I've been offered it and I've been approaching the things. I'm just saying,
yeah.
you get naked to beat somebody up. You don't get that way to beat somebody up and then put it on film. And this girl is, but usually somebody don't at least want to cover up. I feel she was doped up,
Mm.
and that
Okay.
led her. She probably had no clue as to what was going on, and if she did, she could help us to stop it. See, over there in Mexico, they can get the drug they need to give you the roofie, to put you in
Yeah,
that state of
because
mind. You're easy to slay like a lamb or whatever superficial thing you want to call it, sacrifice.
wow.
Yeah.
You know what? You just made me think of something. I don't know if you recall about 3 years ago that some people were saying that they went to Mexico, they drank something, and they were poisoned with the liquor and all of that. We're
It
gonna
was
have to finish this.
it was an older black couple and
Yes,
they got robbed, and sometimes they give you too big of a dose. They don't know how much to give old people that ain't probably never had drugs before and
right.
gave them a dose. They didn't
Well,
make it.
look, we are out of time, but I do want to continue this discussion next time, because I think we need to really put it out there what's really going on. So thank you all
Oh,
so much for watching. Excuse me.
it's a lot of stuff I said that I need to watch my back for, because it's a lot of people out there. Those people are in law, they in everything, because they
Yeah.
just we'll get to it. It's some more I can talk about.
Okay.
Is the reason why these things happen.
All right. Well, look, thank you so much for sharing your perspective on this uh, episode about Miss Shanquella. Again, our condolences to the family, and our prayers are going out to the family as well. Thank you for watching. We ask you to come back, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you'll be the first to hear when we have another episode. Okay. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.